One of the things about living in an older house that's had a lot of previous owners is that each owner makes their own little changes to the house. And over time, you end up finding all of these strange architectural discrepancies in the house that you end up having to fix.
I guess they just don't make them like they used to, huh? No! Nobody ever made them like this!
This is our laundry room, and I am fairly certain that it was not intended to be right here. We had thought about moving it, but it's going to end up costing us a lot of time and money. The major problem we have with it is that they put in these crappy accordion doors that always get caught in the rails. They stick, they take up a lot of space, and they're ugly. So my project for today is to replace these horrible accordion doors with a set of new sliding doors. Bought this kit that supposedly has everything you need in it, so we'll see how that works. That thing's a piece of crap and it keeps popping off.
Throwing shit around and all that.
I had to put it down. It's metal.
Nice.
It's gonna make noise.
I'm getting angry when I'm talking about you, na? You're passive aggressively throwing shit around so I get the message. Now let me tell the truth.
I'm not even listening to you. I'm a little busy. The doors are up. They actually work. I actually bought something in a kit, opened the package, and it all went together more or less as it was supposed to. Only thing I had a problem with is there's supposed to be this sort of facing that connects to that metal rail up there. It did not work. Might try it again. I might try jerry-rigging it to put it up there, but honestly, that metal is pretty much invisible, so I'm not too worried about it. For the moment, I'm calling this a win. There's one step left. We are going to be moving all the cat stuff into the laundry room, so eventually a little kitty door is going to have to go into that bottom panel. But for the moment, I'm calling it a day. follow-up project time. It's the day after. These doors are still holding up nicely, so now it's time to finish off the next stage of the project. I'm going to be putting a latch on the far door so that prying little hands and prying little feet can't get in there. Also, this, in addition to being the laundry room, is also going to be the cat room, so we're going to be putting the litter box and their food in there, and we need to make sure that Oreo and Riker can't get in, so I'm also going to be installing a cat flap. So, working with something out of a kit yesterday actually worked out just fine, so we'll see if we can go 2 for 2. We opened the box, and cat door's out. Unfortunately, we discovered something a little bit incompatible. The frame on this is fairly thick. It's actually designed for, you know, real doors. And these are actually just tiny, thin, flimsy little panels, less than 1/4 of an inch thick. So we're gonna have to get a little bit creative and figure out some way to make this fit into sliding doors like this in a way that won't cause them to jam into each other. I think we can do it. When I'm presented with a problem like this, my first instinct is, let's rip it apart and see what happens. Cooler heads prevailed, and we decided not to immediately jump to that conclusion, because if we broke it, we may not be able to return it, and then we're out $20. So we kicked around a couple of different ideas, but in the end, we went with brute force, and discovered that this thing actually just pops right apart. Simple, no fuss, no muss. So now I'm just left with this nice little piece with the panel, which I can go ahead and screw right in. So I'm going to go ahead and start taking some measurements, cut a hole, and hope for the best.
Hey!
Babe.
You know what every cool video needs? Every cool video needs a pretty lady in it. I'm just here to boost your ratings, your TRP.
That's good. Nobody wants to just see me yammering all day.
You guys are gonna have to excuse my homeless bum look. A pregnant lady that works from home does not have much motivation to get dressed or look pretty.
No good template to use for cutting out that hole the way we're using it, so I had to improvise quite a bit. But the hole has been cut, it's been sanded. As you can see, the frame fits perfectly into the hole. The flap moves nicely, so now all that's left is to screw it in. Now the screws that came with the kit are essentially wood screws, because they were designed for cinching the frame together, but of course we're not using the same frame, so those same screws aren't going to work. They're about that long, and basically it just means they're going to go through about that much door, and the rest is going to be sticking out. So instead what I'm going to do to hold it securely is I'm going to use machine screws instead of wood screws with a little nut on the other side to hold it tight. Just going to install the little latch here, and we'll do a quick cleanup and show you what we got. What I'll probably do at some point is the same thing that I did with the screws on the cat flap, and replace that with a hook that has or a loop that has a machine screw so that I can just bolt it onto the other side. For the time being, we're not going to be using it that much, so it'll be fine for now, but down the line, that's something I'm going to think about, and if you're doing a project like this, I would recommend. Well, I wouldn't say this went off, completely without a hitch, but it still only took about half an hour, required us to think outside the box a little bit. But in the end, I still have all my fingers, no one's bleeding, and the end result, I think, is not too shabby. that is the first of my numerous door projects around the house that have been completed, so I'm feeling pretty good. This is going to be a big adjustment for them, so we're not going to force them into it right away. But still, I just want you to know how much work I did for you. That's a pity cuddle. I don't think he's really very impressed. If you enjoy watching me hurt, humiliate, and embarrass myself with my DIY projects, like, comment, share, we'll keep them coming.